Okay, guys, we're talking about the seven deadly sins of government in society that are causing us frustration, anger, harm, costing us, making us feel like we don't have control over our lives. So many horrible things from these governments. Just to recap, the first one was user pays. Government suddenly started to charge for its services. The second one was no debt by Howard. They charged more because Howard wanted to balance every budget. The third one was science. We're now implementing science into our lives. We classify everything from roles and responsibilities in your job to where you can park, where you can't park, how long you can park for, when you put your rubbish out. Everything's scientific classification. Let's get on to the fourth one straight away. The fourth deadly sin in society has been governments now acting as commercial entities. They're full commercial entities. And that follows on from user pays and no debt. But now they're acting as fully blown commercial entities. What's the problem with that? There's two serious problems with that. One, you should not call yourself... Well, there's three. One, they should have consulted. They should have fucking consulted with us. Two, you should not call yourself a public service and act as a commercial entity. Three, they charge... I'll give you this example. Three, they're a monopoly. There's a Maribyrnong City Council now. If you just want to... Say you want to build a house or you want to do an extension. You want to talk to a planner, yeah? Guess what? It costs $250. It costs $250 now to talk to a planner at Maribyrnong City Council. Now, yeah, it's a major problem because the government shouldn't be doing it at all. Talk about fucking user pays, right? Double whammy. You already pay their wages. Now you're paying $250 to just talk to them. What's the problem? It's a monopoly. So the deadly sin of becoming a commercial entity is okay if you open yourself up to competition, because if I can get my planning permits from 100 other places, I can tell you I won't be paying $250 to talk to a counsellor. I may even just pay $100. So the fourth deadly sin is governments acting as commercial entities. We've got the first deadly sin, user pays. The second, no debt from Howard. The third, scientific classification in society. The fourth, governments acting as commercial entities. Now, the fifth one is an interesting one. And you will get this. When we had the technology revolution, if you're an internet service provider, it's very hard to service over the phone 200,000 customers or more. So they stopped doing that and they went to automation, right? You know yourself, you want to talk to a lot of internet providers, you log on, you send an email, or you can have live chat or something, you know, and they can live chat to 10 at once. These get closer up for it, yeah? You can't do that on a phone. You become messy. What's the problem with automation in the private sector? Nothing. Private company do what they want. You choose whether you want the service or not. But government adopted it. Government are now fully automated. And that means they want nothing to do with you at all. You can see it. You try and call and talk to a government at any level. It's hard work. Go through this. They'll send you emails sometimes from the tax department or something. You cannot reply to this email. The Australian Taxation Department do not even have email communication. Do you know that? There is a phone communication. There's no email communication. It's all designed to keep you at bay. This is supposed to be your government. They're acting like fucking aliens. They're now fully automated. You wonder why you're frustrated when you try and talk to them? And then you get all of these recorded messages. What if you don't fit the recorded message, which most of us don't? They don't care. You'll fucking get that square peg in that round hole. That's how they operate. You wonder why you're frustrated? Now, how many have I done? I've done user pay. 1. Howard's debt. 2. Scientific classification. 3. Government acting as commercial entities. 4. Automisation. 5. Number 6 is they have not only distanced themselves, no longer a public service, charging the arse off you, classifying everything, you can't fucking move. They expect you to jump through hoops, put square. What if you don't? What's the 6th deadly? You must know it. You get punished. You will be punished. Right? They have become punitive. Yeah? Don't take the coronavirus test, we'll charge you now. Don't take a vaccination, no jab, no play. $17,000 it'll cost a young mother. You fucking move sideways and you will be fined. Australia cannot help but fine you for everything. They've become this punitive fucking tax department sending out. Everyone's fining. Oh, if you don't want to take a coronavirus test and you're in lockdown, what are they going to do now? You'll pay for your lockdown. You'll stay an extra 10 days and pay for it. Every move the Australian government makes at every fucking level, they're punitive. And they wonder why you're frustrated. I've given you 6. I'm sure I've got another dozen, but I'm not in the mood for it. But let me say this. So what does it all mean? What's the common thread? What's the common thread? They've acquired more control over your life. Mate, this is not a fucking joke. Their control is outrageous. They have gained in control, which means you've lost control. You wonder why you're frustrated? And they've got the media on side with it as well. That's a different issue, but we'll talk about that again. You've now lost control and they've gained control. Also, when you're becoming an automised sector, I'm not going to call them a public service anymore because they're not. They're commercial entities with no competition. That's why you get charged so much. When they become automated, it's a dehumanisation process. They're dehumanising you, right? You're a number, you're not a fucking name. Sometimes you call them up, what's your number? You don't even ask a name. I find they're telling me I'm calling them up, they're telling me what I want to know. I said, is it okay if I can communicate to you what my inquiry is? What they also do is, when we talk about a square peg in a round hole, you're dealing with a dogma. You're dealing with a government that just spews dogma. And you will fucking accept it. Why not? You'll be fined. You don't park in that space, you'll be fined. You don't bring that tax return on time, you'll be fined. You don't take that test, you'll be fined. It's a deadly organised... Listen. And they're monopolies. It's not like you can say, listen, I'm sorry guys, I don't want to take the test. See you later. No, wait, you'll be fine. Oh, no, I'll do my planning elsewhere. No, you won't. You'll do it through them. They're monopolies. If you're a monopoly, you can't act as a public service. It doesn't work. It doesn't make any sense. If you're a monopoly, you're not a public service. If you're going to turn into a commercial entity, someone in government should show some leadership and say, okay, I want government to be a commercial entity now. We're going to open it up to competition. They won't do that because they want that fucking money. They've got to pay $400,000 a year salaries to local councillors to collect rubbish. Organise other people to collect it. They won't collect it because they're in their Armani suits. They're paying these people $400,000 a year. Oh, there's one of the fuckers outside now doing something. I'll go out and rip him in a minute. Oh, my God. Anyway, you get my point. What I'm saying to you is, rise up against government, resist them, because they are a cancer. in your life and society, and you may not even know it. Think about the points I've made. User pays. We used to be a public service. No debt meant charging more because you've got to balance the budget. Scientific classification. We're human beings with emotions. We're not meant to, you do this and go here and do that. Have this total control over your life. It's madness. And should you step out of line, you will be fined. It's punitive. The automation that came from the internet took the public service further away. You can't even call them up anymore. They don't exist. And it's all festered in them. Let me end by saying this. It's festered in them, a horrible bad attitude. They treat you like children. They treat you like, they'll have a, you'll do, no. It is horrendous. I ask you to think about government in our society today, and we need to take it back. We need to get control of our life, resist them at every level.